This is Otaku no Video, episode 20. What happened to Providence? Let's get started. Did you see this article from the New York Times report on lolita culture and lolita fashion?
No, not at all.
It's surprisingly very good. I guess not too surprisingly, considering it is the New York Times, and they're pretty much on the ball with these things. But it basically talks about lolita cosplay, and it's now behind their firewall. But basically, it was talking about how that is. Well, that a lot of folks outside it look at it as this creepy thing, and they said that basically it's really just fashion statement. You know, they're not trying to look like they're literally 12 years old. It's just that kind of clothing has become what they wear, and it just came out of that whole weird Shibuya, we will try wearing anything and see how it goes. And it evolved, and it was this very nice article and seemed pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it seems to be that way, just sketching over this.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I don't know, Lolita culture is a little bit creepy, but...
Well, that's the thing. I don't think the Lolita cosplay is so much the Lolita culture.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I think... Because I totally agree that the Lolita thing is really, really freaky. And it's kind of gone out of control. Although I don't... It's weird because it's definitely a very cultural thing. You know, we just don't have that over here, and certainly not in a way that is considered even mildly cultural acceptable. So it is strange. There's also this information about Production IG and Fuji TV have announced they are making a computer animated film, CGI, and that they've been developing this proprietary system for the past couple of years of taking hand-drawn 2D and turning them into 3D footage, which intrigues me a lot. I wonder if that came out... I mean, obviously they did the opening of Ghost in the Shell CGI, first season. So it should be interesting to see. I mean, certainly Production IG is one of the top studios in terms of doing that. And if anyone's going to do CGI, I think they're probably the best ones to try.
Yeah, I feel like somebody else has done this, but I can't name the project. This was the follow-up to... I think we reported on... This was reported on a while ago. I don't know if we mentioned it in the podcast, but I think ANN had an article up a while ago.
Yeah, I think we talked about it, where there was I think they advertised a 3D CGI position on their website. Yeah.
And they're actually, ANN's got the link there at the bottom.
Yeah.
But, it looks interesting. Of course, we won't get this for a long time, whatever it is. But, yeah, will be interesting to see if it has anything to do with, supposed to be let me see.
Well, and I think this may have come out of a result of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. I feel like that has definitely opened up the anime movie market a bit.
Yeah, between that and Brave Story.
Yeah.
But mostly Girl Who Leapt Through Time, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And apparently the Skycrawlers is...
True.
Rather well regarded, but, you know, even on forums, I've met like 2 people who have seen it, and great. You know.
Yeah. Well, the movies tend to not get fan subbed that quickly, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm not... I think it really depends on what movie it is.
True.
Like the Ava movie.
Yeah. Well, and also, I think the thing, too, is when it's broadcast on TV, it's so easy to rip that compared to a movie.
Yeah, but let's not kid ourselves. I think they do take their time with the average film versus...
Definitely.
You know, this is Ava 1.0. We've been waiting years for this. Go. But
so we'll wait 6 more months.
Yeah, I think... Mm-hmm. And Brave Story and... I think there are... I was looking up whether or not Skycrawlers was licensed because I really actually want to see this.
Yeah.
But, there's nothing out there. And even for Brave Story, Exiled Destiny fan subs are floating around here and there. But that's already licensed, of course. We don't really know when it'll come out. But, my same beef with Girl Who Leapt Through Time. It's please release, please. I just want to buy it. I don't want to pay money for a trip to somewhere to go see it in your little little festival. It would be awesome, but I really don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this looks. Well, there's almost no information, but
True.
It'll be interesting to see how the technology has evolved from Skycrawlers. I haven't even seen that yet. I've only seen the trailers for that, and that looks quite a bit different from what we tend to see from them, from anybody with CGI in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this will be. Maybe we'll have an interesting CGI TV show at some point.
Yeah.
That not be really like the Voltron CGI TV show. Really, really blocky.
Yeah, it's been funny watching the Japanese anime industry as a whole approach CGI kind of like the monkeys from 2001. Very carefully and gingerly. We have to be incredibly careful and slow about how we adopt this, and we can't do this wrong or it's going to be terrible. So we get little things like Appleseed and stuff like that, and it's just been very carefully done, which is nice because really there hasn't been. I can't think of any Japanese CGI movie or thing that has bombed, well, except for Dominion Tank Police. But everything else seems to have done well.
Well, I know in the U.S., that Korean film.
Oh, Wonderful Days.
Yeah, Wonderful Days didn't do.
That's not CGI, though.
Well, parts of it are, though.
True.
Yeah. And, it's, at the very least, it's a very mixed film.
In fact, I wonder if that's not sort of where Production IG is going with this film, that kind of look.
Yeah, I'd hope not. I'd want... I want more of... Well, I'm still interested in seeing Vexil. Or Vexil. I think it's about planes. I believe that's almost all CGI. Or at the very least mixed. That didn't get such great feedback. That a lot of people just said it was sort of pretty, but nothing. It looked a lot like what's that really bad fighter pilot show, Yukikaze.
Oh yeah. Or
what a lot of people would call the really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Vexil has a lot of ratings on ANN of just being really okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, actually it is entirely CGI, so... But I've been wanting to see that, but it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. I really do want to see them go all the way CGI, though, because I feel like you either do one or the other, or you don't... I mean, mixing it doesn't usually have such stellar results, so...
Yeah, and which I think Wonderful Days I really like, partly because I'm an animation geek, but also just because I think it's surprisingly good for a first Korean original film kind of out of the gate for animation. But even there are moments where they're clearly trying to mesh the two, and it's just very clear that that's 2D, that's CGI, and it's very obvious, which is it's kind of how you experiment. So more streaming news, lots more streaming news as things go on. Nico Nico is streaming a Tentai Senshi Sunred on their site, and they're streaming it 15 minutes after premiere. Wow. Take that, Line Barrels of Iron. Funimation is streaming Darker Than Black, first 3 episodes. What was the other one?